Monday edition South Football Teleconference. Our move today, because of basketball, tomorrow or normal teleconference day, so I want to discuss schedules this week as we continue to preview Big South Football close out the month of October. Our Player of the Week announcement made later today at 2 o'clock, so we have some notes to pass along before we begin. Liberty and Charleston Southern to the top South standings at 2-0. We will go for the first 2-0 start this Saturday, first 2014. The Bucks will return to league play next Saturday in November. They have Bucknell in a non-conference affair Saturday. Bucks extended their win streak conference to 11. That is now tied for the second longest. Liberty amassed 181 yards of offense past Saturday. That is sixth highest overall total, second highest South game. Gardner-Webb quarterback Carroll is now just rushing yards away from becoming the Big South all-time leading rusher among quarterbacks. Second, 1,700 yards. Monmouth linebacker Brendan Ward recorded 21 tackles past Saturday in Liberty. It was Big South's first 20-tackle game in 2014. 21 stops for the second most conference. Kennesaw State running back Jasper Bennett came second running back in South, 100 yards. Monmouth wide receiver Darren Ambush became the first South player since 2014. 100 yards a game, and total 210 on 7 catches for Liberty past Saturday. Liberty quarterback Calvert, now the first freshman in South with 2 touchdown pass games for past Saturday after having 4 touchdowns in 5. Lastly, Gardner-Webb linebacker Chad Peter became the 14th player in the Big South 300 career tackle club, eclipsing the milestone this past Saturday. He was 1 away from entering the league's all-time top 10. He's at 12. 100 solo tackles are 5th all-time in the Big South record. So some notes to pass along, and now we begin with head coach of the Gardner-Webb Running Bulldogs, Carroll McCray. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Mark. How you doing?
Doing fine. Hope you're well. Bulldogs made a rally, but still fell short against Kennesaw State. Fall to 1-1 in league play. Going to open up talk about the game against the Owls, especially how second half adjustment and rally towards the end of the game. Then we'll start taking questions.
Okay, thank you. Well, congratulations to Kennesaw State. Coach Bohannon and his staff did a fine job, and came up here and won a game they needed to win. In conference play, and we played very poorly in some spots defensively in the first half of the ball game, and dug a hole that we couldn't get out of, and we really needed offensively to stay on the field, really keep Kennesaw State's offense off the field and try to get things settled down and get some issues worked out, especially on the back end. Really had a hard time with the pitch when they took the ball on the edge first half of the game. Then credit goes to them. They played 3 quarterbacks, got some guys in there, and as I said last Tuesday, their move toward throwing the football with the offense they run really makes them more than a triple threat, and it proved to be that way. They had kids made some real fine catches, and use their play action pass to be a real plus for them at times during the ball game, and it turned out to be a real negative for us. Came out and made a few adjustments here or there, mostly just settled the kids down to do what we had asked them to do, and they scored on the first drive, third quarter, and then didn't score any more the rest of the ball game. But we had dug ourselves a hole that was too deep for us to try to dig out of as a football team. And yeah, we had some opportunities. We finally got it to a one-score game, 8 points away, with over 10 minutes to go on the clock, and could not take control of the game offensively and go score again. So credit goes to them, and now we got to move on to Liberty. So got our hands full this week. Enjoyed watching Coach Gill's football team on videotape. I think they're really, right now it looks like they're on a roll. They played an extremely tough schedule, as a lot of our teams do early in the season, and I think they found out a lot about their football team. Looks to me like they've, gotten on a roll. Of course, like you said, they're 2-0 in the Big South Conference and sit on top there with Charleston Southern. So, they're on top, looking down at the rest of us, who have to go in there and play. And they got 3 wins in a row, so some momentum on their side as well. I think the kids are playing really hard. I think they've certainly found their quarterback. Very, very impressed with the young man they have taking snaps at quarterback. Has a very strong arm, and I think, to me, a very accurate arm. And he's got some good receivers that have played a lot of football. Carroll and Shells and Parker, 1, 2, 3 there. He's got some really fine guys to throw the football to, and their run game has picked up. Thought they ran the ball really well at Kennesaw State 2 weeks ago. As we were preparing for Kennesaw, we saw that. And, then they were really physical this past week with their offensive line and, making yards there with Macon, Mosley, and then been really impressed with the young running back Hickson, who is also part of their kick return team. As far as their specialists, I thought they graduated a really fine kicker, and I think he made it into pros, and I've been really impressed with their freshman, a very, very strong leg. Noticed him last week when we were getting ready for Kennesaw. Field goals he kicked down in Atlanta, and really, got a good leg on him there. And they're very dynamic in their kick returners. Right now, their kickoff return team is not only number 1 in the Big South Conference, but they're number 1 in return yards in the country. So, you got your hands full. You got to play a full football game on offense, defense, and in special teams if you want to have an opportunity to challenge Liberty University, and that's going to be our plan, to get all 3 phases ready to go and see if our kids will compete up there in a great environment, in a Big South Conference game. So we have to play very, very well. I think they got quite a bit of momentum right now, and it looks like they got the kids playing together, got them playing very, very fast, and doing what the coaches asked them to do. So we got to get some things corrected and head up that way, and hope we can get all 3 phases playing together and put a complete game together, see if we can keep this thing close and have some opportunity.
All right, Coach, at this time we'll start taking questions for you and ask questions. Press star 1 on your phone at any time, or click the Q&A link near the top of the browser. Click raise hand as you're going to get a Coach, first question for you is from Amy and Sordelette, Lynchburg News and Advance.
Morning, Carroll. How are you?
I'm fine, Damien. How you doing?
Doing well, thank you. We spoke at today. One of the main topics was Tyrell Maxwell's development.
Right.
He's certainly having a spectacular season in the conference and total offense. His pass average 56% completion percentage. And I think the big thing that you hit on in the season was that you didn't want him to be the leading rusher, and Khalil Lewis really taking the burden off him. What have you seen in Tyrell's development that allowed him to be more dynamic in those phases of the game, running pass?
Well, I think he's matured mentally with things people have done to us, and then I agree with you. Our run game with our running backs has taken some of the pressure and the attention off him as far as a runner, which he had to carry the load last year, and he's gotten a little bit of help this year. And I think he's done a pretty good job. He's thrown the deep ball a little bit better off play action, which is a big part of what we're trying to do and develop. But we've seen a lot of growth in him there, and still work in progress. I think there's plenty of things that we're still working with him to improve himself. I think he still has a lot of potential to improve making decisions, for 60 minutes in a ball game, although he's done a really good job so far. And I think he has potential to continue to really, if he'll work hard, improve as a passer. And, I think he's a really good runner and he's a thrower. But he's got plenty of room to grow to be a really fine passer and, throw all the balls that you throw to win a lot of big ball games. So really looking forward to his improvement as we continue to go through this season in Big South Conference play. But so far, he's held together and been a big cog in the wheel for us to improve our offense, and I certainly hope that'll continue.
And you've been becoming a better passer. It helps to have a reliable tight end like Mike has available. What has Mike done to continue, being that reliable target? Add in a guy like Jonathan Lee as a freshman, the dynamic playmaking. You have deep threats like Willie Jackson and Kyle Horton. Health, he's a definite threat. How much of the supporting cast around Carroll and his offense split?
Well, it has. We've had some young guys at receiver step up for us, and we really needed that to happen. We were pretty handicapped at the end of last year with some guys that could make some plays for us. So I'm tickled to see some of those young receivers come on and continue to grow. I think the biggest thing about Mike Estes is he really can play in so many different spots. We play him in a trips, doubles formation. We play him as a regular tight end, and we play him in the backfield a lot. And I think his growth in this last year of being able to play all the different spots and being able to keep him on the field regardless of the rest of the people around him, where we're in two-back sets or where we're in four wide, he's part of that package. Is his flexibility to do different things has allowed him to continue to grow as a tight end and be a target for us and a weapon for us. And I think he's improved somewhat in blocking, which has helped our run game. So that's also been a good addition, and he's taken it very serious, which I appreciate, understanding the importance of blocking them along with being a receiver.
And looking at the defensive side, you went through some injuries earlier this year. How has that helped you by getting so many guys like Jalen Foster in there early that you, one, build depth, you also, I guess, have a spirit of competition that those guys are battling now for playing time when you get guys healthy back?
Well, it has helped us in the secondary. Devin Foster and Devin Mines have been thrown into start roles for the last 3 or 4 ball games, and now we do have a little bit of help with Josh Carter and Tristan Dozier coming back. So providing some depth and competition and being able to rotate some people in fresh is certainly a pleasure to be able to do that. We haven't always had that, and we've seen growth there in a competitive way because of those young guys. And, when you start to line up against a team that has a really fine quarterback, some really top-notch receivers that we face this week, we're going to need a lot of guys to try to get in there and cover the pass. Liberty's number 1 conference throwing the football, 200-plus yards a game. Quarterback's ranked at the top right now. So even having a little bit of depth is helpful, and really kind of comes back to being able to have some guys to put out there to put on the receivers, but at the same time, we got to be able to have some pressure on the quarterback and not let him sit back there and just pat the football and pick the guy that he wants. So it'll be a total effort as we move the secondary forward to try to get all up and play together and slow the side.
You mentioned Josh Ramstor at the beginning of the year as a possible candidate to step in and significant time at nose guard and replace O.J. Mao. What have you been pleased in his development and his ability to go in there at nose guard and create pressure up front so guys like Peter and Cook can come through and clean up ball carriers?
Well, it's interesting you mentioned him. Josh did not get to play last week. He got an injury on his leg, and he's doubtful this week. He has had a good year, and he's come on and helped us in a lot of ways, and I've been real appreciative of his effort up front. I don't know if he'll be able to play this week or not. We're waiting on physical decisions come back from him. But we've had some other guys step up. You know, we moved an outside linebacker, Quentin Patterson, into defensive end, and moved some people around to try to get a little more speed on the field defensively. And you know, we're still learning as we go because of some movement around there, and a lot of people are having to step up and play some different roles. But I'm hoping we'll show improvement week by week. But Josh has had a good year, and just kind of waiting to see if he'll be able to participate and help us in the ball game.
Does that does having a under your belt with a different lineup, especially in the front of your 3-4, does that help that those guys did get a game reps in there before you go in and face much liberty?
Well, there's no doubt about it. You know, I think anytime you get game experience, you can't put a value on that. I mean, that's the best experience you can get. And you know, Liberty has gotten their offensive line working together very, very well. The run game has you know, started to show its face in a real plus way for them to go along with their quarterback. And you know, they're big and thick up front, physical. So we're going to have to play, you know, quite a few guys up front, stay as fresh as we can to try to slow down their offense. There's no doubt. If they lean on us a bunch and get a lot of drives and we get worn down, it won't be good for the running Bulldogs, I promise.
Carroll, I appreciate the time. Thank you very much.
Hey, I appreciate that. Look forward to seeing you this weekend.
Thanks, Damian, and Coach, that's all the questions we have for you. So I appreciate you joining us. Just schedule. Good luck on Saturday, and we'll talk.
All right, Mark. Good luck tomorrow, and good luck to all the Big South football teams this weekend. Y'all have a good day.
Sure.